What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
All right, folks, back on the Bossman Show. Friend of the show, Coach Fearne, the Charlotte 49ers out of the American Conference, doing great right now. 13-9 on the year, 9-4, 7-2 in conference play was very important. Coach Fearne, what's up, man? How are things up there in cold Charlotte, man?
Oh yeah, it's been an interesting weekend. Record amounts of snow and basically stuck in the house for 2 days. Timing was pretty good. Guys got a couple of days off, so we're back practicing today, getting ready for Wichita State on Wednesday.
No doubt. When Coach Maskis, man, you all had a non-conference schedule was very competitive. So talk about how it really helped you all set you up for this run in the American Conference, which is tough from top to bottom, as you know. But scheduling these games non-conference wise kind of test you for this. How cool is it being to see your guys come out of it and really play well in American Conference play, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, it was very, very challenging. I mean, we played some really good teams and never felt like we ever had just a break just to try and, get ourselves together and, feel good about ourselves. It was like every game was a grind. And it was tough on the coaches. It was tough on the players. But to their credit, I mean, they battled through it. We talked culturally, like what we've got to, what we're trying to become. And we're still trying to become what we want to be. But yeah, it was good. It was competitive. We learned a lot of hard lessons because when you get into American Conference play, I mean, it's every night's difficult. I mean, look at the results this past weekend. A lot of them that you don't think are going to go that way, they do go that way. And at the end of the day, you just got to worry about the team that's in front of you and really focus into them and respect every single team in this league, which we definitely do that.
Coach Fearne, talk about getting guys to buy into the process of getting better every day, being an everyday guy, still trying to go 1-0 every day. Like, because that's really what's matters. Next game is what's important game of the season is what we have next. And trying to have that mindset to keep getting better and want to get better and trying to find ways to improve on that basis daily and hourly as well.
I know, you're exactly right. We talk about stacking days here. That's what we do. The most important thing is today. Get your extra work in, get with our development coaches. They'll do a bunch of that this morning. And then we get to practice and we talk about stacking days. And for a lot of these guys, they haven't played at this level. They haven't won a lot of basketball. So what does winning take? What kind of habits do you need to display every day to win? And a lot of them are learning that, have got a lot better with it. I'm on them every day about it. Every drill we do from the start of practice to the end of it, you got to stack and be better than you were the day before or the time before we did what we did. And they're doing that, which is great to see. And, I think we're able to build better habits and better consistency.
Learning to win these close clutch games and clutch time games. You've a lot of those this year. So, because we both know you can do it in practice all you want to simulate it, but it's not the same when you have referees and another color in front of you. And your guys have played a lot of these close clutch time games. But how important for your guys to do this is going to February into March where games become more important and more consequential by the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it gets back to what I just said. I think stacking habits is important. And so part of that habit is when we do 5-on-0, when we practice situations at practice, and we do a lot of preparation for situational play. That you know the timing and the delivery of the pass and the screening angles and sprinting to spots to get shots off quickly and but there's a lot of situational stuff defensively too, right? Like
Hmm.
bending situations the right way and not going rogue, as we say. Having the discipline to defend within our system, and then don't be that guy that doesn't block out in big situations either. Yeah, so I think it just goes back to preparation. We do a lot of it, and yeah, and look, at the end of the day, you got to have a bit of luck too. I get it. You got to have a bit of luck when you're in these big situations, and we've had a bit of that. Um, but at the end of the day, you want to put yourself in positions to have an opportunity to win close games, and the guys have been sensational with it. They work their butts off. They get after it every day. They really, really compete. I talk to them all the time. I don't ever want to question their competitive spirit. And to date, the guys have been sensational.
And Coach, I also want to bring up, talk about this for the listeners out here about how important it is for in this new world called basketball having to get on the same page. Because with the NIL involved and money and stuff like that,
Yeah,
guys' egos can get out of control. And
for
so,
sure.
watching your team, it seems like your team's on the same page. They love playing with each other. Watching them when I watch the games on ESPN Plus, like, hey, I see some things where these guys are really connected, and it's hard in the world when you're trying to get after mine. So talk about
It is.
doing the job your staff have just done to get these guys are connected. From what I see from the outside, look like that they're on point together, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I coached in the pro world in Australia for a long time. So look, I just kind of put it in boxes, like the business part of it's done during the transfer portal. You negotiate contracts, all those types of things, and that side of it's done, right? And then, okay, now there's the next part. Well, you need to work really hard. And I am not giving anybody, I'm not telling anybody that they're coming in here and they're going to be this and they're going to be that. Like you, you've got to earn it and you got to keep it. There are guys here that have put a heck of a lot of work in that are getting rewarded for their hard work, and have been very disciplined and been very coachable. And we talk about you never arrive, and so you got to keep working every day. And at the end of the day, I don't care if you're a freshman, a fifth-year guy, a guy that's played overseas and played in some pro leagues, or you're somebody that was a dude at their last school, and I don't. That has nothing to do with this program. You got to come in here and establish the behaviors that we expect in our program and stack days every day. And if you do that, then you'll be rewarded. And those guys that are doing what they're doing right now are getting rewarded for that.
And also, you have a good thing with your guys sharing the ball, multiple guys in double figures, and talk about the unselfishness of your team and actually trying to get your team from good to great. Actually, not taking because a good shot, but I get a better shot. So
No
maybe
doubt.
we will make that extra pass and get guys in their right spots where their hot zones are, and analytically, and that's where you can be most efficient.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no doubt. We break all that stuff down to see, and look, this stuff just takes time too. You just got to go through it a little bit and figure out who wants the moment, who doesn't want the moment. Who runs away from the ball, who wants the ball, who wants the big mo like all that stuff you just figure out with your group as you work through it. Because you can't fake it, it's real. Those situations are real. And but that's the fun part of it. Like a guy cutting in a big moment to make a shot is no more important than a guy that has to set a great screen at that last point to get that guy open. Like that stuff's important. We had an unbelievable screen set the other day at Temple on a sideline out of bounds play that, got Arden Conyers open. Colin Blackman set an unbelievable screen on the baseline that got him open. And he doesn't get that shot if that screen's not set. Those little things a lot of people don't see. They just see the big shot. But, as coaches, we see the pass and the screen and all that type of stuff. So, uh, yeah, big moments. Need to make big plays.
And you're shooting very well too from three, over 30% from 3-point range. And talk about how important it is to be able to spread the floor out, make defenses be in conflict. Do I close out hard to them or do I not? So I'll tell you,
Right.
you guys shooting very ball very well, it opens up job lanes for you, creates the double gaps for you. Let's talk about how good the shooting is. It's really going to help you down the stretch here.
Yeah, I mean, if you honestly asked me earlier in the year, I probably questioned how well were we going to shoot the ball. But I got to give a lot of credit to our coaching staff here. They put a heck of a lot of work into our player development here, and some guys that have been good shooters or been average shooters have become way better shooters, more consistent. Um, Teaching them what the right shots are to take, like you just said, good shots to great shots. If we move the ball, which we do a good job of, we're going to create some good shots. Um, but then it's that decision, well, can we make an extra one to make it a great shot? And the guys have been excellent with that. But yeah, there's a lot of work that goes in that the guys that do behind the scenes are always in the gym, repping it out and repping it out the right way, cutting hard, getting shots off quick, getting your footwork right, getting your balance right. We do a lot of work with that, and you can see the results.
No doubt. And also, something you're doing very well is rebounding the basketball, and which is really important to that possession game because you get more possessions, you have an opportunity to make shots. So talk about defensively having your guards hit people and be involved in that process, defensively rebounding the ball, offensively getting extra possessions, getting extra shots. So most I both know get off rebound, like get an open three on the back end for the most part. Everybody be collapsed inside. So talk about how important that owning the glass is for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we've obviously got a big guy inside that's really hard to keep off the glass, and he does an awesome job with that. We attack the offensive glass for sure. I think if we want to take another step, we've got to be a better defensive rebounding team. Just being real physical in that part because the day and age of basketball these days is people attack the offensive glass really hard, and it ends up being a very physical part of the game. And you got to be willing to put your body on the line and hit people and keep moving your feet and then go get the ball. Um, so yeah, I mean, we've been pretty good there. When you get into conference play, it's different because every team's big, athletic, physical, competitive. So yeah, if we can improve a little bit in that space and we can, keep getting better as a team.
And doing a good job of limiting the ball turnovers, limiting the turnovers on the 12 a game, and about how important it is to limit, especially these live ball turnovers. You can't defend the live
Yeah.
turnovers for the most part. So how important is it for your team really to bang that basketball and not have those live ball ones, man? Because those are killers.
Yeah, I think it comes back to preparation too. We do a lot of 5-on-0. Our scout team's excellent. They put a lot of pressure on our guys to execute every day. Um, I think it's just understanding your game and what you can do. I think B, it's understanding our system and where guys are meant to be. I think that stuff all contributes to taking care of the ball. And, for the most part, this group's been really good.
And I know you have a game against Wichita State here. Talk about the job that you see Paul Mills is doing, see what he's doing on film for you guys. It's really going to be a challenge for you guys going out there to play those guys in their arena this week.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's an awesome environment in there. I think Coach Mills does an awesome job. Team's really talented. They play really hard, um, really physical, get on the glass. They've got some dynamic scoring on the perimeter. They've got some real, big, strong guys around the rim. They run good stuff. I mean, they're good. I mean, they've had some really good wins this year, and we know it's going to be a big challenge on Wednesday to go out there and get them. We had an unbelievably crazy game here at home when we beat them in double overtime here, and they played really well here. So we know we're going to have to be better than what we were when we played them here, but that's what this time of the year is about. This is when you start really figuring out, what you really are, and it's just trying to get a little bit sharper. And but got to keep improving, just every day, a little bit more every day.
I hear that, Coach Fearne. Good to have you on the show again, man. I hope we're talking again in March after you win the American tournament, man. So we talking
Well, I
again.
mean, we'll give it a go. This league's super competitive. I mean, man, you could be sitting in first place one week, and you could be sitting in sixth the next. Yeah, every day is important right now for every team, and we're no different.
I hear that, Coach. Best of luck to you, man. Appreciate the time as always, man. And keep on touch. Keep on going to them 40 hours, buddy.
I appreciate having me on.
Anytime. Appreciate you, man.
All right, mate.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z. Sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews. You name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to The Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.